In order to be able to mix properly, you need to know your listening environment. That would mean that we presume that your speakers are in the right position, that your room is adequately treated in a sense of absorption, so acoustically treated room. And of course, you need to reference mixes from artists of the same genre so that you would know what you're up against. Of course, no two songs are ever alike or ever the same, but referencing mixes from popular releases is going to help you get an ear for what the spectral balance should be like, how much of each parts of the frequency spectrum should be there for a certain genre, since genres of music differ a lot in the style of mixing and how much of what we need to have in the song. And by how much of what, I refer to loudness of certain elements and amplitude values of certain parts of this frequency spectrum. So to be able to mix properly, you need to be well acquainted with your mixing environment, with your listening environment. So the room you're sitting in, how does music sound in that room? How does music of similar artists in the same genre of the song that you need to mix sound in your room? What does it sound like in your listening environment? And that all comes with practice. So what I would always suggest is to, before mixing and during mixing, to just refresh yourself a couple of times with a couple of songs of popular artists, popular producers, and just listen to those just so you don't totally get away, since acoustical memory with people is quite short, quite bad. So just refreshing yourself with hearing something well mixed and well mastered is going to help you in a sense of what should be there and how much. So if I'm trying to mix this song, which is psytrance, I would most probably listen to a popular release from the psytrance scene and just get a sense of what it should be sounding like now. Of course, also I changed studios, and every time I did that, I had to get acquainted with my listening environment, the room I'm sitting in, since acoustic treatment is different. Maybe the speakers are different, so I would have to get acquainted with those speakers in that room, maybe a couple of pairs of speakers in that room, ABCing through those speakers, so listening to the same song on all of those different pairs of studio monitors, getting a sense of what each one of them sounds like. What do I need to be careful of? Maybe some of them have a certain problem with a certain band of frequencies. So in order to be able to properly mix, you need to know your listening environment, and you need to always reference mixes from other artists as often as possible. Of course, you will not be able to make any song sound like another song exactly, but at least you will have a good pointer on what you should do to make it close to that. And hopefully, in the end, get a good result with your mixes.